Hello, Lens Legends, and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show, where we focus on the business side of photography. I'm your host, Jim Landers, your guide on the business side, and it is my mission to uplift portrait photographers to make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography that's designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. This show is for photographers who feel they've got something to learn on the business side. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. For Digital Pro Lab, Amanda and her wonderful team, and I mean wonderful, they are career people who do this day in, day out because they love it. It's not some part-time thing that they're doing while doing something else. No, they are here for their career, and it shows in the product they produce for you. Talk about making you look like a hero. Yeah. Go to digitalprolab.com and find out more about what Digital Pro Lab and Amanda and her wonderful team can do for you. And of course, for my company, Landers Photography School, I teach the photography side and I teach the business side. I love both. And we spend a lot of time on the business side, at least lately, because that's where the need is. There's a lot of wonderful photographers out there. You are probably one of them who's doing okay. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you don't know how to make it work as a career. Photography can be a career. Photography can be a great career, but you have to do it right. There's not just one way of doing it right, but there's a lot of good ways, and good a lot of times is in the bad category, but you wouldn't know it because there are certain ways that are best for you. And the only way to know is by defining where you're going. It's kind of like a road trip. When you define where you're going, you now gain the potential to choose the right roads to get there. That's how I teach the business side. Reach out to me at jim@landersphotoschool.com, jim@landersphotoschool.com to get more information about learning the business side and getting to where you just love the business side. Now, I want to encourage you to make comments and to ask questions throughout today's lesson. I want you to go to the comment section right now if you haven't already and enter in hashtag live. I know some of you have already. I can see it. But hashtag live. That lets me know that you're watching today either on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube. We're simulcast to 8 different places. So let me know that you're watching by entering hashtag live. For those of you who are watching this as a replay, please comment hashtag replay. I also want to request that you share the Portrait Profit Show and let other people know this exists. Don't keep it to yourself. When you share this with others, you're uplifting the entire photography community. You may think, well, I'm going to keep this to myself so that others aren't doing the same thing. You want others to do the same thing because I encourage you to have let's say, price. It'll be one of the things I'm talking about today. Price, if everyone's price was a sustainable amount, then people would stop looking at your price as being too high. It would become normal. Don't you want more people to be able to make that happen? It's to your benefit. Hit that share button. Let other people know. I want you to imagine it's the end of the year next year. So we're at the end of the year this year as I'm writing this, as I'm saying this. But consider this as the end of the year next year. And you're looking back at your year-end numbers, and a smile comes across your face. You knew it was coming because you tracked it all year. But here are your final numbers, and your income doubled. Now, for some of you, that number is going to be a lot more than doubled. The transformation began within weeks of implementing the strategies that Jim taught you last year. And that pricing increase was something you were nervous about? Well, it was a whole lot easier to implement than you thought, huh? And the best part? You spent more quality time this year creating meaningful images and building client relationships than ever before, all while working fewer hours. This, Lens Legends, isn't a dream. It's exactly what I'm going to help you achieve over the next 45 minutes or so. Out of all the proven strategies that I teach, and there are a lot of them, I've selected five for today's lesson specifically because they generate rapid results while building lasting success. They aren't one-time things, onesies, but they do have they things happen quickly when you implement these. The photographers who implement these particular approaches often see their first wins within days or weeks, not months. Today, I'm sharing the five strategies that consistently deliver the fastest return on your effort. Though their benefits will compound over time, these aren't slow burn approaches. They are exact methods that have helped my students secure immediate bookings, raise their prices successfully, and quickly build momentum towards sustainable growth. We're going to be focusing on developing a brand that starts attracting ideal clients immediately, implementing marketing tactics that generate inquiries very quickly within today or within days, establishing pricing strategies that increase your revenue beginning with your very next client, creating client experiences that trigger referrals from the first time you implement it, and adding revenue streams that can start producing income right away. While there are many other valuable approaches to growing a photography business, these five that I'm sharing with you today, these deliver the quickest results while building a foundation for long-term success. By the end of today's lesson, you're going to have a clear roadmap for explosive growth in your photography business with clear, actionable approaches that deliver rapid growth that you can implement right now, right away. So I'm recommending, if you can, if you're not driving, that you take notes because we are about to discover exactly how you can create immediate momentum for your breakthrough year. Are you ready to transform your photography business? Huh. Let's do this. And hey, if you're excited to learn how a little change can make your business grow, and if you're excited about what I'm about to share with you, will you do me a favor and let me know in the comments? You could say, let's do this, or just yes, or thanks, Jim. I'm excited. Whatever you want to say, but go to the comment section right now and you can write just something as simple as yes, letting me know that you're here with me and you are ready to hear what I have to share today. Now, up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you see a URL code, and that is there because I, well, I'm sure you know if you've watched the show. As always, if you would like today's handout with everything you'll be hearing here today, plus there is a worksheet. It's just $10 for the whole thing, and I send it to your email as a PDF. And let me also put that on the screen right now, so if you want, you can just write it down. So that's the handout. And again, it's not just the handout. The handout's 20 something pages long. There's also a luxury photography pricing worksheet so that you can figure out what your pricing is supposed to be. Now, I can help you do that on just one-on-one as a private session, but this worksheet will take care of a lot of that. It might cause some questions because it just gives you the answers, but it is pretty impressive how it will come up to you will actually know what you're supposed to be pricing things in order to reach your goals. So that's the handout and that pricing worksheet. So take advantage of that and just use your cameras, your cell phone camera for that what you see up in the top left corner. By the way, I'll be changing that out every once in a while to the uh, to the logo and to today's show graphic, so you won't see this every single time that's there. So let's go Straight to strategy number one. I call this a distinctive brand identity that attracts dream clients. And isn't that what we all want? No one who's going to drain our energy, just people who are going to lift our energy. You know, when you buy a new car, suddenly you see that exact car, that model everywhere. There's actually a name for this. It's called the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, or I prefer to call it the frequency illusion. Your brain becomes tuned to recognize exactly what you've defined as important. Now, you may not have assigned important to it, but your brain subconsciously has. The same principle can transform your business. When you clearly define your ideal client, you'll start seeing them everywhere. But here's the real magic, they'll start seeing you also. So, this strategy isn't about spending months crafting the perfect logo, agonizing over font choices, making everything just right. This is about something far more powerful and immediate. I want you to think about maybe a recent client who's been an absolute joy to work with and has valued you and your creativity. Just like spotting your car model on the road, once you clearly define what made that client perfect for you, you'll start recognizing that quality or those qualities in potential clients all the time, everywhere. More importantly, those ideal clients will recognize themselves in your brand messaging. This clarity in your brand identity attracts exactly who you want to work with. And I'm going to show you how to create this clarity using the same psychological principle that makes you spot those cars on the road. Let's talk about a brand transformation. Here's what makes this approach different. Just as your brain has this natural ability to spot items and patterns once you've made yourself aware of them, you're going to tune your business to become a magnet for ideal clients. I've seen photographers spend months on visual branding while missing the elements that actually attract clients. So let's develop your magnetic attraction. First thing I want to talk about is your client attraction story. Just like you suddenly notice your car model everywhere, the ideal prospects are searching for signs of what they want in a photographer. You're going to make your message magnetic. Instead of just listing what you offer, you're creating a story that pulls clients in towards you. What transformation story do you want to create for them? It isn't just about pretty photographs. Yeah, you do that. But this is about the emotional pull that makes clients reach out. So let's talk about the magnetic approach. Every photographer has something distinctive that naturally draws certain clients to them, yet most never communicate it effectively. We're going to change that today by identifying and strengthening the elements of your work, your personality that already pull in your best clients. So now we're talking about your value magnet. This is where everything changes. Once you understand how pattern recognition works, you can present your value in a way that naturally attracts your ideal clients, translating your artistic vision into language that makes clients say, "This is exactly what I want." When done correctly, your ideal clients feel an immediate pull towards you. So that leads me to the immediate implementation plan. Here's exactly how we apply this. First, I want you to think of your last three favorite clients. Think about what it was that drew them to you. What did they say? Each one of them that they loved about working with you. I want you to write that down because they said something, it got your attention. What did they say? Just like spotting cars on the road, once you identify these patterns, you'll strengthen your magnetic pull towards similar clients. Next, we have to craft that winning magnetic message. This isn't a tagline, but it is the core message of that will make of your. This is the core message of your consultations and your marketing. Here's a real example from one of my students. This is their words. While other photographers focus on posing perfection, I create a relaxed environment and experience that captures genuine family connections. My clients get images that show real moments of joy, not just posed bodies and cheesy smiles. That was the core of her message. It wasn't the whole message, but her bookings in a very, very short period of time doubled because she identified it. You might ask, what? Why? How? Because it spoke directly to what her ideal client wanted. It's about how to get your first brand win. Make one simple change to your client communications, whether that's your email or your web form, the web form inquiry response, your About Me page, or your consultation script. Maybe it's all of them. But you're going to incorporate your magnetic message statement, and you're going to watch how quickly it begins attracting your ideal prospects. Remember, just like spotting those cars on the road, once you clearly define your magnetic elements, you'll naturally attract ideal clients. Every photographer I've worked with who implemented this saw results within soon, their very next inquiry noticed. Some raised their prices, most did. And within weeks, they saw this change because that magnetic pull became so strong with their ideal clients. It made it easy or easier to raise their prices. Now, I'm surface leveling this because of time, but if you need additional guidance, I hope you understand that's what I do. So, just in case you didn't already know, I offer private business coaching sessions. So, whether you're just starting off, you're fine tuning existing systems, my one on one coaching systems and uh, plans and coaching, these strategies are something that we're going to implement together so that we can bring order to whatever chaos you're experiencing and confidence to your workflow. Just contact me at Jim at Landers Photo School and I'll help you with it. So, as you hear today, as you're listening, I want you to click that like button or the love button each time you hear something you like. By the way, if you're watching, say, on Facebook and you're just in the scroll, then you can only do it once. But if you click on the video, clicking on my face effectively, then you actually go into it and you can click it multiple times. So you're not actually in it until you've clicked on it because what you're in is just the news feed. And you can watch me the entire show just on the news feed. But if you click on the video itself, it actually takes you to the video where you can watch it. And actually, it shows me who's watching when you do that. It won't show me if you're just in the news feed. Next strategy, number two, I want you to make the competition irrelevant. Now, you may think, how's that possible? Well, something that I hear often, something you've heard probably all the time too, is the market is saturated, or the market in my area is saturated, or there are so many photographers. I get it. When you're scrolling through, say, social media, it can feel like every photographer in your area is competing for the same clients. When someone posts that they're looking for a family portrait photographer, for a senior photographer, or for a wedding photographer, and they get 82 responses, yeah, that feeling of saturation it feels real. It definitely feels overwhelming, but it isn't the truth. That feeling comes from not seeing the whole picture. It's like standing in a crowd and thinking the whole world is crowded. But if you had the ability to step above it, you'll see vast open spaces that you never noticed. because you weren't in a position to notice. You had put yourself in the crowd. Isn't it amazing how many people comment that they want to stand out from the crowd, yet every action they take keeps them there? You know what? Let me prove that to you in a different way. Have you ever been house hunting? I mean, even if the entire neighborhood had for sale signs, by the way, that might be a sign of something else, so don't go there. But when you're looking for your house, one that fits your style, your needs, your vision of a home, when you find it, it doesn't matter how many others there are. Suddenly, those other houses disappear from your mind. That's exactly how your ideal clients think. That's exactly how humans think. They're not scrolling through an endless sea of photographers. They're searching for the one that is the right match. And when they find a brand that resonates with who they are, what they value, whatever saturation you think exists, it becomes irrelevant. This is why photographers who understand this principle often are able to easily raise their prices without losing bookings. They're not competing in a crowded market. They're creating their own space where competition becomes irrelevant. Remember that the magnetic brand you just created in strategy number one? Now you're going to broadcast it across multiple channels. But here's what makes this approach different. We're going to use tools that are available to us, including AI tools, because we want to maintain a consistent, compelling presence everywhere your ideal clients are. And we don't want to do it while consuming your creative time. You don't have enough of that as it is. Think about it. While other photographers are struggling to post regularly, maybe daily, and figure out their SEO and other things, you'll have tools such as possibly Jasper or Copy.ai, generating SEO optimized content that sounds exactly like you because you started it and you directed it. While they're guessing at what the right hashtag is, you'll have AI analyzing which ones actually reach your ideal clients. Strategic placement that converts is what we're talking about. Most photographers make the rookie mistake of trying to be everywhere their ideal clients are looking. But here's the truth. Your best future clients, they're not looking for you at all. Not yet. Instead of seeking the seekers, we're going to strategically place your magnetic brand where it naturally intersects with their daily lives. This is what I call don't seek the seekers. When you understand this principle, you stop chasing prospects and you start creating multiple natural touch points that make them feel like finding you was their idea. They don't feel chased. Now, if you'd like for more information about the not seek or don't seek the seekers, go back to episode number 145 on November 27th, 2023. Episode number 145, November 27th, 2023, called Don't Seek the Seekers. It's a whole hour worth of that information. But here's how we can make it happen. The first, strategic content placement. You're going to use AI tools like Jasper, like Copy.ai to create content that fits each context. You're going to place your brand message where it feels like a natural discovery. You're going to create multiple touch points across different platforms. You're going to let automation handle the timing and handle the distribution. Second is context driven visibility. You're going to identify where your clients spend time. You're going to use Meta's AI insights, that's Facebook, to understand natural behavior patterns. You're going to position your content to enhance, not interrupt, their experience. You're going to create value in spaces that they already trust. Number three, smart cross path marketing. You're going to develop content that serves multiple discovery points. You're going to build relationships with complementary businesses. And by the way, I've done two or three of these portrait profit shows on that subject. You're going to use AI to identify unexpected connection opportunities, create consistent touch points that feel serendipitous. Let me give you a couple of action steps. Again, this is surface level. I'm going over it quickly. You're going to set up, say, copy.ai or Jasper. I've used Jasper. I haven't used copy AI, but I've heard good things, so that's why I'm including it. But you're going to use Jasper and that's JASPER, Jasper or copy.ai to generate context appropriate content. You're going to create a natural set of discovery points. You're going to position your content strategically across platforms. Maybe a little bit more specific. If you're using copy.ai, you can get a free trial. I think Jasper can too. But you're going to select the blog post generator in copy.ai. You're going to input that magnetic message from strategy number one. You're going to set the tone to professional and warm, and you're going to generate content that fits natural discovery points. And you're going to put it where your clients are. This could be Instagram. This could be LinkedIn. This could be Facebook. But your magnetic brand is now strategically positioned for natural discovery, creating multiple touch points that make clients feel like finding them was their idea. And when you have the right tools amplifying your magnetic brand, those feelings of market saturation, well, they just dissolve. They go away. Now, that combined with alliance marketing, but alliance marketing takes more time. So that's why I'm not including it in today's lesson. But you can go back to past episodes of the Portrait Profit Show and get plenty of information on that. Or you can reach out to me, come straight to me, and I can help you with that kind of thing. Just reach out to me at jim@landersphotoschool.com. Yeah, it is as simple as that. By the way, if this so far is resonating with you, will you do me a favor and just comment in the comment section, yes. Just comment yes, or you can share what it is that's getting your attention or that you're resonating with. And if you haven't already, please enter in hashtag live, letting me know that you are here right now watching live. I can see a lot of you have already done that. Let me do a couple of shout outs while I'm at it. I won't be able to shout out to everyone, so I'm kind of just picking some. Sorry about that, guys. So I see Robert. Glad you're here. I see Paula. I'm seeing Anna. I see Alexandra, Robin, Tony, James. Oh man, this list keeps on going down. I am thrilled to see you guys here. And I'm sorry if I'm not calling out your name. It's just there's a bunch of them, and I have a lot of things I need to cover today. So let's move on to strategy number 3. This is vision and value-based pricing. Pricing. Now you may think, how's that going to make a change? Especially if I raise my prices, that's not going to help me, is it? Interesting. If you're targeting the correct market, yes, it will. Let me ask you something though. Do you believe, and answer this in the comment section, do you believe that a custom low volume portrait photographer, which is my target market, that's who I'm mostly talking to. There's a lot of people who do other things who watch the Portrait Profit Show, but the majority are custom producers. They aren't doing one right after. They may do mini sessions, but they create everything's custom. They are making plans. They are talking to their clients. It's not just like school photography where it's one right after the other doing exactly the same thing. Although, again, there are school photographers who do watch the show, but custom, low volume, and low volume generally means a very low number, like below 75 per year sessions. Yeah. So you know that a school photographer may do 500 a day, whereas a low volume producer is going to do under 75 in an entire year. And it could be much, much lower than that. But do you believe that a custom low volume portrait photographer is a luxury item? Do you believe that the type of photography that that this show targets is a luxury item? Tell me in the comments. Is it a luxury item? Is photography a luxury item? Or do you think everyone should have one? You're entitled to your opinion. I want you to share your opinion because there are those who feel like everyone needs this. Everyone deserves a good photograph. Both both ideas are correct. It's just how you run your business changes based on this philosophy. So do you think everyone should have one? That people should be picketing their local and federal politicians to get universal family portraiture? I know that's an exaggeration. But do you feel it's a luxury or should we have universal family portraiture? Now, while I would love to see every family that wants a family portrait to get one, fortunately, and this may become clear in just a moment, fortunately, I am a realist who sees it for what it is, a luxury item. It's an emotionally powerful heirloom, but it's a luxury item. You're in a luxury business, in my opinion. And this goes even further because I don't see it as any different than Rolex, Aston Martin, Gucci. And once you embrace this reality that you are a luxury business, you open up a new level. Like playing video games. You open up a new level once you have this realization. You provide a luxury, and therefore you must treat it like one. Your well being depends on it. So, in previous strategies, we created a magnetic brand and we positioned it to attract ideal clients. Now we're going to price it properly, not by looking at what others charge, but by aligning your pricing with your vision, your ideal life. More about that in strategy 5. But here's a truth that might make you, well, uncomfortable. You ready for this? Not everybody agrees with this, so this is a controversial opinion. It's my opinion, though. If you're checking other photographers' prices for anything other than curiosity, and again, this is for my target market of custom low volume photographers. If you're a high volume photographer, then you need to look at what other photographers charge. It's a necessity in that instance. But if you're checking what other photographers charge for the purpose of trying to find out how much you should price your work, you are already on the wrong path. You're driving down a road that will not lead you where you want to go. You're riding a community bus instead of driving your own car. Let me explain. When you're on that bus, someone else decides the route, your business direction, stops, your client types, the schedule, your work pattern, the destination, your income potential. Is that how you want to run your luxury portrait business? Like a community bus? Huh, not me. Which statement about prices? I'm going to give you two statements. Which statement about prices would you rather hear your client say? The first, that's high, but man, you are worth every penny. The second, wow, that price is way less than I expected. Which of those would you rather hear? Because I'd rather them say, that price is high, but you are worth it. You know what? With a price that's too low, you never even give anyone the opportunity to say, it's a lot, but you're worth it. You've taken that away from them. They don't even get that as an option when you do that to them. Your pricing isn't about the market, it's about three major elements. The first, the value you provide. Number two, how you want to be perceived by your ideal client. And number three, and this is actually the highest of the three, the most important of the three, your life goals, your ideal life vision. Let's look at each of these three elements one at a time. Number one, the value you provide. This isn't just about beautiful images, it's about the experience you create, the confidence you build, the moments you preserve, the artistry you bring, the legacy you help to create. Number two, how you want to be perceived. Your pricing sends a clear message. Think about luxury car brands. They don't compete on price because that's not their market position. Your pricing should reflect your expertise, your unique approach, your ideal professional standing, and your ideal market position. I say ideal because chances are you're not there where you want to be just yet. Number three, the one I said was probably the most important. I believe that it's the most important. Your ideal life goals. This is where most photographers fail in their pricing. I want you to ask yourself, can the prices that I have right now, if I get enough business, do the numbers, can they support your desired lifestyle? If you filled your calendar, every single moment that you could and would and want to fill, add that up. Does it cause you to reach your desired lifestyle? You know what most people say when I ask that question? I don't even know what my desired life, ideal life is. So they can't even answer that question. You have to know. It's kind of like getting out on the road. If you are driving somewhere, let's say you're driving from Dallas, Texas to San Antonio, Texas. If you've defined where it is that you're going, you've given yourself the potential to choose the right road. But if you don't define where you're going, then every single road is a good road. Give yourself potential to be successful. Define where you're going. That's my dog, if you can hear him. Give me a second while I talk to him. I think he's having a dream. Give me just a second. Hey, buddy. Yeah. I have a husky, a big husky, who sometimes has vivid dreams, and I don't know what he was doing, maybe chasing something, but he was having fun. All right, now back to pricing and talking about your ideal life goals. So, can these prices support your desired lifestyle, and will your prices fund your business in the ideal way that you want it to be funded? Having the things that you want, having the newest camera if that's what you desire, having the lenses that you find ideal. Can you do that regularly? I mean, if your price is so low that when your camera gives out and you can't afford to get a new camera, you have prices that are too low. I mean, talk about a red flag. And you may think, that doesn't happen to anyone. Yes, it does. In fact, when I wrote, let's see, it was 2014 when I wrote the class E3, this the price list and sales system class. The reason I wrote that class was because of a comment that was exactly that on a Facebook group. I also have a question for you. Do your prices allow you to have professional development? You know there's more to learn. I mean, if you're not taking some classes here and there every once in a while, multiple times a year, not once a year, Not once every 5 years, not a YouTube video when you feel like you need something. No, professional development, real professional development that you're paying good money for. If your prices don't allow for that, well, let's just say they should. And you know what? I don't get a whole lot of argument on that one. Yet I get very few that put it into the plan. Can your prices sustain your long-term vision? Let me give a quick view of your pricing structure. This, though, is what I mentioned earlier that, and I'll put this up on the screen. You can't see it real well because it's so small, but this is the luxury portrait photography price list worksheet. And it gives you an easy way to add things up because not everybody can do this in their head and they don't even know what it is they're supposed to add up. And so this is an example of that, but it's included in the handout. Let me put that on the screen one more time, information about the handout. So there's information about the handout. If you just go to that web address that you see there, or use your cell phone to use that QR code there on the side, then you get that. It's part of it. That's not an extra. It's part of the deal. But you're going to start off with your annual income goal, and you might not know what that is, but you probably have an idea of what it is or what it's supposed to be. But that annual income goal, the amount that you need to bring in, obviously, is just the part you need to bring home. It's not the total amount you need to bring in because we need to add for taxes. We need to add for business expenses. We need to add for professional development, which I think it should be about 15%. And we need to have savings. We need to have profit. So we need to plan that into it. So if you choose to get today's handout, and I know a lot of you will, but if you choose to get today's handout, this equation is going to be part of the deal so that you know exactly what it's supposed to be. So and I can't spend any more time with that just because of time. And but that is what you'll that's one of the things you'll get. So let's move on though to strategy number 4. I'll put that on the screen. There we go. Create a luxury client experience. I want you to think about the last time that you experienced a true luxury service. Not just a good service. I mean the kind that made you want to tell everyone you know. Maybe it was at a high-end hotel, a fine restaurant, a luxury car dealership. Doesn't matter what it was. I want you to write down what made it memorable, because it wasn't just the product. It was how you felt, how they made you feel throughout the entire experience. Now, in previous strategies, you've built your magnetic brand. You've positioned it strategically in your clients' paths. You've priced it to reflect its luxury value. But here's where the magic really happens. It's in the experience that you create. This is what transforms satisfied clients into enthusiastic, thrilled advocates. Most photographers focus on the session itself, but a luxury experience is about every single touch point. So, what touch points could they be? Let me put an example of that here on the screen, and that's really small. Let me make it bigger for a moment. Let's see. How do I make you bigger? There we go. Well, you can get a screenshot of that. While it's filling the screen, you can't hear me. So, the first thing in the client journey map is the first impression. When they discover you, remember strategy 2, strategic placement, their first inquiry response, their initial consultation experience. And then the pre-session, the planning, the preparation, the style, the wardrobe guidance, the location selection, the timeline communication. Then you have the session itself, the actual creation of the images, your professional presence, the environment and the feel that you create, the confidence you build. And then you're showing your images. So it's an image selection consultation or whatever you want to call it, reveal session. But this is where you are presenting their images and giving them product suggestions and just whatever investment guidance you want to give them. Number 5 is the delivery, the installation, and your follow through. So this is product preparation, printing, packaging, signing. I sign all of my photographs. Now, if they're really small, I don't because they're too small. But every single wall portrait and anything 5x7 and up, I sign. Sometimes 4x5s, 4x6s, but I don't get a whole lot of those that size. I get mostly wall portraits and gift sizes like for grandma. But I sign them all and I sign them in gold. I've got gold foil and a heated ballpoint pen, and I live signature every single one of them. So if someone ever comments about my prices and says, and by the way, this has happened. Someone once said, after hearing my price, the dad said, "What is it lined in gold?" And I said, "Actually, yes. I sign every single one of my art pieces in gold." Talk about changing someone's perspective instantly. Yeah. He started to see, no, he saw clearly my value when I responded to that question in that way. Product preparation and presentation make a big deal. The installation process. If you're a full service photographer, that means that you also provide not only printing, framing, but it also means you do the installation of the work or you hire someone to do the installation. So if you're not giving your client any more work to do, then you're full service. If the client has to do anything, now everyone has to get dressed and go to the location, but that's a given. But if they have to, if the end result for them is a print and they have to do it themselves or they just do it themselves, then you're not full service. Can't be full service if they are doing some of the work. I used to think full service meant printing and not even including framing. And then I thought, well, that does include framing. And then I realized it does include installation too. That's the only way to not give them more work. It's kind of like and you guys, if you've watched this show before, have heard this analogy. It's kind of like a roofer. Just because you know how to use a hammer and nails does not make the roofer not put on the roof. No one does that. Not a single roofer gives you any work to do. And if they do, it's a mistake. Why don't photographers do the same thing that roofers do? And yet a lot of us do a whole lot less, and we still call it art. You're not in control of your entire process. Is it art? Maybe. I don't know. If I was a painter and I didn't finish the painting, and I'm like, well, they know how to use paints and brushes. I'll start it, get it halfway done, maybe a little bit more than that, and then I'll let them finish. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. That's not what a luxury item will be. If you see this as a luxury, you're going to be full service. Now, you may not know how to do all those parts. Yes, I can help you with that. Includes everything. Now, we also want to talk about future connection plans. When will they do their next session? Now, with the family portrait, chances are it won't be till next year, maybe 2 years, possibly more. But we still talk about that. We also talk about the referral program. Now, we've talked about that before in the process, but we definitely want to talk about that when they're thoroughly excited about seeing those photographs on their wall. Now, let's talk about implementation suggestions. So during that first impression, respond within 2 hours during business hours. Respond within 2 hours. First impression is just a suggestion. Personalized welcome messages sent immediately. Pre-consultation questionnaire that makes them feel understood. These are just things that you could do. A professional process guide that demonstrates your expertise, letting them know what happens next. Those are some suggestions. You can do them. You can also choose not to. It's up to you and your process, what you're trying to accomplish. What about what happens before the session? Custom planning guide with wardrobe suggestions, location scouting of photographs that you can share with them, detailed timeline of what to expect, vendor recommendations, hair, makeup. Maybe you do that part yourself. You have that taken care of for them. Up to you. Check-in calls, the day before calls, all this kind of good stuff that you could add. During the session, maybe you have water with you. Maybe you have some refreshments of some sort. Maybe you, if you're in a studio, maybe you have a music playlist that's customized to their taste, or you allow them to play their, their playlist from their phone, via Bluetooth on your speakers. So you have this clear, confident direction that you're giving to them. You've got behind the scenes previews, maybe. How about a session wrap up with what you're going to be doing next? Everything clearly outlined. Again, just suggestions. And then in the reveal, where you're showing the images, the image selection consultation, a private viewing environment. This could be at their home. That's how I choose to do it. It could be at your studio if you've got one. You could do it online. It's just not how I choose to do it. Maybe you've got some product samples for them to touch and to feel. Maybe you have a wall gallery mock-up made of their home with those images superimposed onto it. Lots of different things you could do. Again, just suggestions. As far as the delivery and follow through, the installation, a white glove delivery service, installation, either assistance or actually doing it. After you're done, a personal handwritten thank you note. Talking about future session planning, share your referral program at that peak satisfaction moment. You know what? Luxury isn't just about what you're delivering. In fact, often more important is how you're delivering that. Every touch point is an opportunity to reinforce your brand's value, what I call wow moments. Oh, and the power of the wow. It's impressive. I want you to review your client journey. Think about it from their point of view and from yours, but identify where you can add in some wow moments. I also want you to identify your weakest touch point and strengthen it. If you don't have a referral program of some sort, something that causes them to actively share the people that they know with you, you need to implement that. And yes, those are things I can help you with. I've got processes already written. I just tweak them to what your goals are. Now, I'd like to hear from you in the comment section. What is one step you will take that aligns your photography business with your broader life goals? Maybe it's a change in your business model, a new project, a shift in how you manage time, price change. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's inspire each other with ways we can align our professional actions with our life's vision. And if you need help setting up these things, my private coaching sessions can help you choose and implement the right tools for your business. And I do it very much differently than other photography teachers or coaches because I'm not going to share with you the good tools. I'm going to identify which ones are right. So, yeah, if you're traveling from Dallas, Texas to San Antonio, Texas, there's a lot of roads. But I'm going to make sure you define that you're going from Dallas, Texas to San Antonio, Texas, because I'm not going to tell you what all the good roads are, because good is equivalent to bad. If you happen to be going the wrong way on 35 or you head out on I-20, those are bad options. If your goal is to get from San Antonio, or excuse me, Dallas, Texas to San Antonio, Texas. But you don't know it until you've defined it. And most photography coaches are just telling you good things that have worked. because they're good. All those roads are good. All of them, every one of them, but only one is right. And there's only one way to know the difference, and that's by defining your destination. What do you guys think of this? Is this fun? Is it interesting? If you are, make sure you get the handout if you want it. Remember, it includes the pricing worksheet. Strategy number 5. When building a home, you don't start by picking out quartz countertops, paint colors. You don't even start with the foundation, not even the blueprints. You may be thinking, well, then what do I start with? You begin with your goals, with your visions, and then with the land that you have, you get a thorough site survey of that land. Why? Because without understanding your vision and the landscape, you might wind up with water rushing through your front door every time it rains. Your photography business is no different. A clear vision and mission are your site survey. They ensure you're building your business on solid ground with a complete understanding of the landscape ahead. Without them, you might create something beautiful, but unable to withstand the first storm. Here's the exciting part. The moment you define your vision, your business becomes easier to run instantly. Today, talk about a quick win. Here's what happens right away. Client inquiries become simple. They become just yes, no decisions. They become obvious. Price discussions get easier because you know what you're worth and you know what it takes to get what you want out of this life. So, therefore, you're not going to choose clients who don't help you to get where you want to go. Your time management improves because you know what matters. Your stress decreases because you have clear boundaries. You know what? The moment you answer these, you'll have clarity. That inquiry that's been sitting in your inbox, you'll know immediately if that prospect fits your vision. That networking event that you've been thinking about going to, this decision becomes easy, automatic. When photographers struggle, it's often not because they lack talent or even clients. They could be crazy busy. It's because they started building without a stated vision and without surveying their environment. Instead, they focused on immediate details, pricing, but without an end result in mind, marketing, but without an end result in mind, even client experience, but without a end result in mind. All of these things that you could do are in the good category, but no different than starting a new home build with the window coverings. Window coverings are good, but you don't start with them. Let's start with you. You, not your business. What does your ideal life look like? You start here because your business should support that vision. I want you to consider a couple of things, such as when you want to take vacations, what kind of flexibility you need for, say, family time, how much income do you need to support your lifestyle? Think about what drains your energy. Once you're clear on your life vision, we can survey the business landscape to ensure that it supports those goals. Just as a home builder wouldn't place your dream house in a floodplain, we won't build a business model that floods your life with stress or unwanted obligations. Maybe think about these elements of your ideal work life, your perfect work day, your ideal working hours, when you want vacations? What brings you joy in your work? What energizes you versus drains you? What are your non negotiables for family and personal time? You could use tools like HubSpot's predictive analysis You can go to HubSpot.com and enter in search category predictive analysis. Oh, man, you'll be impressed. Or you could use Trend Hunter, trendhunter.com. This is to understand how marketing trends align with your personal goals. Creating a vision for your business ensures your business serves your life goals. When building your dream home, you want the structure protect and nurture the life you envision. The same goes for your business structure. Write down what matters most to you. Not what you think should matter, but what truly matters. Maybe it's creating artistic portraits. Maybe it's valuing the flexibility so that you can be at every one of your kids' events. Maybe it's to travel. There isn't a wrong answer because it's your answer. Think about this: a recent decision, a challenging business decision. Maybe it was a client who asked for a discount. Maybe it was a booking that would cut into family time. Maybe it's a marketing opportunity that didn't really feel right for whatever reason. Now, imagine having absolute clarity so that these decisions don't spend any time with. They become obvious. That's what this vision gives you: instant confidence in your choices. Look at where you're spending your time and energy now. Many photographers find they're building a business that works against their ideal life. That's the norm. Why? Guys, they're handling administrative tasks during creative hours. They're shooting when they want family time. They're earning good money, but they have no time to enjoy it. There's a lot of different scenarios, but then there's yours. And that's the one that matters. This is where your mission statement becomes your quick decision tool. It's your building code, giving you instant clarity on what fits and what doesn't. So do a quick vision check. List 3 things that you love about your work. List a few things that you would rather not do. Write down one thing that you could stop doing immediately. Now, that may mean that you're having to outsource it, but list one thing that you would really like to stop doing immediately, if you could. Let's talk about fast implementation. Eliminate one task that does not serve your vision. Now, I'm not saying it's because you don't want to do it. I'm saying that it doesn't serve your vision. Eliminate it altogether. Don't outsource it. Eliminate this, what I'm talking about now, altogether if it doesn't serve your vision. And the only way to know if it does or not is because you've defined your ideal life. So therefore, you're going to say no to any request that doesn't align with your vision. And I want you to set a boundary that protects your ideal life. Also consider something that's going to help build momentum. Review your calendar with this new vision filter that you have. Adjust a policy that you have to better serve your goals. By the way, I've come across more photographers that don't have any policies written down at all than I have those who have even one of their policies written down. All your policies, all your procedures, all of this should be written down, but it shouldn't be done before you've defined your ideal life. And I definitely recommend that any place you can use automation. Start using automation tools to track alignment. Set up automated tracking in whatever your CRM program is. Maybe it's HubSpot. Maybe it's something that's made specifically for a photographer. You want to use these to monitor how well these activities align with your vision. Let technology handle the monitoring so you can focus on living your ideal life. Your vision will evolve as your life does. It's supposed to. Anyone who says, well, I don't want to make a plan because plans change, they always change. That's no reason not to plan. Is that mean that there's no need for architects? That's what those people who are saying I don't need to make a plan are saying. Oh no, it applies in that situation. It applies with a period at the end of the sentence. You have to plan. You might remodel at some point. You might remodel the home as your family grows. So what? You are going to adjust your business. It's no excuse not to plan. The key is ensuring every change that you make to that plan, though, serves your vision. Vision isn't just about the future, it's about making the right decisions today. Each choice you make either moves you toward your ideal life or it moves you away from your ideal life. So by the end of this week, you're going to have, if you do what I've suggested, you're going to have clear decision making. You're going to have confident boundaries. You're going to have better use of your time. You're going to have reduced stress. You're going to have increased satisfaction overall in your work. So create that ideal life centered vision now. When you imagine your perfect day 5 years from now, or 1 year from now, or next month, or next week, what does it look like? The ideal version of your perfect day. What does it look like? We're almost done. Just the closing thoughts left and telling you what the next two classes or lessons are, because this year's almost over. But I want you, as I'm saying these closing thoughts, I want you to take a moment and write something in the comments. Maybe it's just a takeaway from this training today. It could be as simple as, thanks, Jim. This was great. Because you know what? I like it when people say thank you for the work that I do. I bet you do too. Whatever you want to write, put it in the comments. But definitely take a moment to put something in the comments right now. And by the way, if you haven't already, enter in hashtag live, letting me know letting me know that you're here watching live. Here's the closing thoughts. Lens Legends, you've just received 5 strategies for explosive growth that can transform your business starting today. And while some of these may feel overwhelming, choose just one, do it, and then move on to the next. These strategies work quickly. It's not a race, but so take your time, but make time to begin today. Don't put this off. You've got way too many things going on in your life. You're going to forget about the stuff that we talked about today. Now, maybe you're ordering the handout, and that'd be great if you did. But use your notes. Get something done right now. Start with one quick win. Maybe it's crafting your magnetic message. Maybe it's adjusting your prices. Maybe it's eliminating one thing that doesn't serve your ideal life vision. Think about this. In the last 45 minutes or so, you've learned how to attract ideal clients naturally. You've learned how to position your brand strategically, price your work confidently, create experiences that wow your clients, and build a business that serves your life. Your next booking could be at your new premium prices. Your next inquiry could come from your magnetic message. Your next decision could be crystal clear because you made time to define your vision. Understand this: your photography business is a tool to create the life you want. And that life, it starts taking shape today. So, which strategy will you implement first? Whatever you choose, I want you to know that I am confident that you've got this. The tools are now in your hands. The path is clear. And your future clients, well, they're already looking for exactly what it is that you offer. You just have to put it in their path. Let's talk about what's coming up. As you know, you get the Portrait Profit Show every single Monday. So here's a look at the upcoming shows. Starting 1 week from today, on December 23rd, the last minute review of your 2025 plan. We'll put that up on the screen. This one is similar to what you've heard before if you were here last year, because I did a similar one last year. Bottom line, though, is it's not too late to start planning if you haven't. We do need to make sure that we set ourselves up for success in the coming year. So, we're going to cover the highlights of a successful annual plan so that you're ready to make next year your best ever. And we started working on that today. And then the last show of the year, episode number 200. I can't believe it's at 200 already. In some ways I can, but still. On December 30th at noon, the photographer's task list for January 1st. As the clock strikes midnight and a new year begins, it brings with it the perfect opportunity for reflection, renewal, and a fresh start. It's just the right time to reset, reorganize, and set the tone for a productive and successful year ahead. Put it on your calendar, December 30th at noon. I want to thank you, Lens Legends. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you found value in this lesson, hit that like button, hit that love button, share the Portrait Profit Show. It's easy. Click the share button. Yep, it's easy. And of course, join us next week at noon for the next Portrait Profit Show. Put it on your calendar. In addition to making beautiful images, you guys, you're making an impact. You're touching lives in many ways. Some you will never know, but you are impacting others. You're making a difference. I hope today's lesson has given you new ideas and strategies to strengthen your business and your life. Keep letting your unique vision shine through, making the world more beautiful, one portrait at a time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being such an incredible portrait photographer. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, my name is Jim Landers, and I'm bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show. Lens Legends, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep making your mark in this wonderful, beautiful world. I look forward to watching you grow. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Bye for now.